Okay, another top series we like for our beginner wrestlers is the tight waist chop to our bar arm and a few other things. So, tight waist chop. So we want to get to our starting position. Now on the whistle, okay, everything is on our body is going to crash towards our knee that's down. So if we're on the left side, it's going to crash left on a 90-degree angle. My back knee is going to knee in the butt as I do that. The only reason I'm able to knee in the butt is because all my weight loads to my left knee. Okay? My arm is going to be two options. You can stay fingers together, right? We call this like a queen wave. Or you can go thumb, C grip on this guy's elbow. Okay? You've got pressure, you've got lean into this guy. Your tight waist is very strong. On the whistle, all of your weight's going to shift, and you're going to knee this guy in the butt, okay? And you can keep kneeing him in the butt and stacking him, but he's going to extend out. Extend out. Right now we're in position. So that's our tight waist chop. Again, before the whistle starts, I've got my knee in this guy's tailbone. Everything's going to crash hard over my knee that's down. And I knee in the butt here. And I can start to flatten this guy out. A drill that we like to do is just turning this guy, 180 degrees. Tight waist chop, and just keep hitting this tight waist chop. So I'll knee him in the butt, he builds up. Knee in the butt, he builds up. Knee in the butt, he builds up. Right? And you can just keep going on this over and over and over. Right, just getting used to knee in the butt, chop. Okay, we're squeezing this arm into his body tight as you knee. Okay. Now, we want to get this shoulder on the mat, and we want to scoop this arm up in our bar arm. So we're going to turn, quarter turn right there. All right. Tight waist chop. All of his weight is on his shoulder. I come up off my knees and I start pulling his elbow away from his body. And I slide in my bar arm here. I keep my pressure going forward, okay, so that my head starts creeping up over this guy's head. I make a fist with my hand and I put my chest right on my fist. And I can keep this guy's elbow right in my pec, okay? Now, this gets real crummy for this guy. My other arm is coming under his armpit, grabbing his wrist and pulling it in, okay? We're going to drive his shoulder to his ear, and we're going to have our head over his head kind of towards his far armpit. I'm sorry, his far ear. Shoulder in the ear, head goes to the far ear, okay? Now, I could either have my back foot in between his feet, knee on the outside, or I could have my whole leg on the outside. You got to play around with both, see what you're comfortable with. Okay? I'm pulling his wrist in, I'm driving his shoulder to his ear, my legs are wide. If you can see, my left leg is super wide here, and I'm pushing with it, and I'm leaning forward. Now, as coach has all of his weight on his far shoulder, I'm going to start circling. And I put my knee in the side of his face, and I'm pushing his head away from me, getting my pin here. All right, so tight waist chop, bar arm. We're going to do a quarter turn again. Tight waist chop, right, knees off the mat. Pulling this arm away from his body. Right here, I keep driving till I correct my shoulders. I'm not leaning down. I correct my shoulders. My far arm grabs his far wrist and I pull it in. I'm way too low here. I want to start sliding and inching forward. Keeping my elbow clamped is critical. Okay? I want my head almost going past this guy's head. Pushing and leaning. Pushing, leaning. I'm pushing his shoulder into his ear. Once he gets on his far shoulder here, now I can start to circle. I circle, head goes to the mat, I'm pushing this guy's head away from me with my knee. If you drop down to your hip, that's okay too, right? Just be careful here. Some guys will squirm away on the bottom. Okay, now we'll get right back to this bar position. Coach will go down, and we're going to talk about some of the common mistakes. One, you get this bar arm. Okay, again, it's illegal if you bring your hand up by his shoulder. You got to keep your arm 90 degrees to his back. Okay, but some common mistakes here is we have guys staying way too low. This is not going to turn this guy. Another thing is guys try to turn their bodies and they get no pressure, no ability to flip this guy over to turn him in that bar. I want to drive his shoulder to his ear. The whole time I keep my elbow clamped as strong as I can. I'm flexing my arm here, my back muscles, right? And I have my chest over my fist and my head is past his head. Okay, I want to keep my weight down on him. I want to keep his shoulders in the mat. So elbow clamps, I drive forward, maybe on a slight angle, shoulder to ear. Shoulder to ear, okay? Those are really like the main pitfalls that we see. This guy gets his arm back, right? Because I wasn't clamping, I lose it. If I start circling without it, I lose it. If I don't have the right pressure because I'm all the way back here, I lose it, okay? So focus on those details and you'll be turning guys over with this bar arm in no time.